Hey, Mario Gonzalez here with Navy to Navy Homes. On today's blog, we're answering a very important question we get a lot: who pays for the eviction? That's an important question because it can be very expensive. So if you come to that uncomfortable place where you have to evict a tenant, who pays? Well, most more likely it is going to be the owner's expense. Most of the leases are written from the owner to the tenant. So the lawsuit that then ensues is actually between the owner and the tenant. It can be expensive. Here in Florida, I can speak that the average eviction uncontested runs between about $500 to $800. It takes about 30 days from the start to get the eviction process, 30 to 40 days. Now, depending upon the way your lease is written, think about the additional expenses in this. The lease is written to maybe give a 4-day grace period to pay rent, so it's due in the first 4 or 5 days, and then you have a 3-day notice, so you're halfway into the month before you even start the process, 30 days after that. So when you go through an eviction, you need to worry about the cost of the eviction and the potential timeliness and losing 1 to 2 months in rent at a minimum, and then paying to release the home. So it can be very expensive to actually perform an eviction. However, there are some companies out there, Navy to Navy, we do this. We offer eviction protection for our owners, for our landlords, basically for a small monthly fee. What we do is we say, you know what, we'll cover that 500 to 800 fees in the unlikely condition that we have to evict a tenant. Where that helps the owner is the owner doesn't have to worry about that additional expense. Something goes wrong, tenant's paying late, stops paying, they give us permission to say, you know what, just go for it, get them out of there, and we can do that. However, what I will, well, let me address this piece. If it actually goes to court, meaning if it is contested and the tenant wants to go to court, then the fees get very expensive. So your lease has to be specific on this. A good lease will say that that whoever takes to court, that the prevailing party will actually cover the other lease or the other expenses, lawyer expenses here. Well, most tenants think that if they drag you to court and they win, that you're going to pay all their expenses. Not necessarily the case. What's going to happen is, because you're going to be represented by a lawyer, and this is where it gets expensive because lawyers work by the hour, the lawyer is most likely going to countersue for something. So you can go back and forth. Literally, we haven't seen this tremendous thing. We have great tenants, but I've heard through the industry that people have racked up $10,000, $12,000 per side in legal fees to fight over $500. It's ridiculous. So aside from that, how do you protect yourself in this? Well, take a look at our other blogs as far as how to screen tenants, how to protect yourself, your investment, what to do if there's late rent, what to do if this tenant stops paying. Because the biggest thing in this for eviction is really to protect yourself up front, and that is to properly screen a tenant, work with a management company that is very serious about this, that has written guidelines as to how they procure and screen, like residential selection criteria, how they screen the tenants. And you want a property manager that's always engaged, doing regular inspections, keeping good communication with you as the owner, and that the tenant knows that they are there all the time. And that really will help minimize your chances of ever getting to an eviction. So please see our other blogs with regards to that. Again, screening tenants, how to handle late fees, what to do if your tenant stops paying, etc. And at any time, feel free to give us a call. We're happy to help answer any of your questions here at Navy to Navy. Thanks.